I think a lot of people have
Moi, je suis au
a lot of distrust.
problème, mais j'aime bien quand même être accompagné. Très bien avec le frère.
I got so desperate, I just...
Way back in 93.
L'artiste multifonction, de ce que je dis tout le temps, to God, to everything, to...
Je les aime, quoi, vraiment, c'est dingue.
Salut tout le monde, hi everybody, bienvenue dans Le Mag. Aujourd'hui, j'ai le grand plaisir d'inviter Boy George. Boy George, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Hello.
Hi. Alors, je sais que c'était Roy qui vous a appelé pour vous dire qu'aux États-Unis, il y a grand intérêt que vous reformiez. Est-ce que c'est lui qui prend une plus grande commission aujourd'hui? I know that it's Roy that rang you up saying, hey, in America, there's a great interest that we get the band back together. So does he take a bigger commission today?
No, he doesn't, because I do more work than he does, so I take a bigger commission. But for me, it was really just a question of timing. If Roy had been a day early or a day late, I probably would have said no. It was just, I was in the right mood, because it was certainly something I wasn't planning at all. I don't think any of us were really planning it, so it was a bit of a surprise, out of the blue kind of thing.
Right. Alors, ce qui est fou, c'est qu'en France, il y a quand même des teenagers qui peut-être vous ont jamais vu. Alors, mais pour moi, c'est fou parce que je vous ai connu il y a 10 ans. I'm saying what's amazing is that in France, for young teenagers today, perhaps it's the first time they're finding out about you. And it's so amazing because you've sold 25 million albums. You've had 3 hits in the Billboard for the one album. Girls used to dress like you. It was you were a huge, huge band. And for all me who are over 25, we're so pleased to have you back.
And the rest. I think a lot of people know us through their mothers. I mean, I've been DJing for the last 5 years, and one of the comments that I get the most of all the time is, my mother loves you. Can I have an autograph from my mother? So I think a lot of people know us through their mothers, but that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of, there really isn't, I mean, in terms of sort of pop theatre, there isn't any competition at the moment, apart from Placebo.
Right.
He's not even gay, so fuck off.
Et alors, vous avez fait une énorme tournée aux États-Unis. Quelle a été la plus grande différence de le faire aujourd'hui et il y a 10-15 ans? You've just come out of a huge tour in America. What was the big difference doing it now as to compared to 10-15 years ago?
Well, I think that it's nice to be able to go back to Culture Club with what we know now rather than
learning it for the first time.
Yeah,
perhaps.
I mean, in the 80s, obviously things were very hysterical, I think is a good word, and we were very young, and although we thought we knew much more than we did, we were actually quite naive. So it's nice to be able to have the opportunity to go back into the band with a bit more of a level head, and to actually enjoy the sort of band for what it is, rather than getting sort of immersed in all the sort of emotional stuff and all the relationship stuff.
Right. Justement, par les relations, vous avez eu une relation avec John quand vous avez commencé. Maintenant, vous êtes des bons amis. At the beginning, you did have a relationship with John. What's it like now? You get on fine?
No, I don't have a relationship with John.
All right. It's purely business?
No, I mean, you know, John and I get on very well now, surprisingly. I mean, it's very British anyway, the way that we work. I mean, you know, we're not the kind of band or the kind of people to actually sit down and have sort of serious heart-to-hearts about things.
Right.
I call it the rhinoceros in the room syndrome, where there can be a rhinoceros in the corner and nobody mentions it, which I think is very, very much the stuff of Culture Club, you know, and I think that will always be the way it is.
Alors maintenant, on va montrer un portrait de votre carrière jusqu'à présent. We're now going to show a resume of your career up to now, and it's a rubrique de France Submerge.
Okay.
Okay, cut.
Un travesti irlandais, un noir, un juif, un anglo-saxon, le clash des cultures et un goût commun pour le clubbing, ainsi naît le groupe Culture Club au début des années 80. En 1982, Culture Club est révélé au public avec Do You Really Want to Hurt Me, titre d'inspiration reggae. En ne jouant pas franchement la carte de la virilité à tout va, le groupe est très rapidement devenu l'emblème du reggae. Avec ses lèvres purpurines et ses petits déhanchements, l'attitude de Boy George fait à l'époque l'effet d'un pavé dans la mare. Dans son sillage s'engouffre toute une génération qui va s'encanailler pendant toute la décennie. Avec Mikey Gregg, John Moss et Roy Hay, Boy George réussit l'exploit de classer 3 singles extraits d'un premier album dans les 10 premières places des charts. un record jusque-là détenu par les Beatles. Leur second album, Color by Numbers, sur lequel figurait le célébrissime Karma Chameleon, se vend à plus de 10 millions d'exemplaires. La musique de Culture Club devient le confluent d'inspirations tous azimuts, rock, funk, Motown, psyché et bien sûr reggae. Dans l'euphorie générale, Boy George et John Moss fêtent leur succès dignement en développant une amitié plus que poussée. Mais les mésaventures de Boy George s'affichent à la une de tous les journaux, principalement des scandales liés à l'usage de stupéfiants et des mœurs moyennement catholiques. L'équilibre du groupe est fragile et à la fin des années 80, Culture Club se sépare après un dernier album, From Luxury to Heartache. Boy George entame alors une carrière solo, troque sa mise en pli contre une coupe bien dégagée derrière les oreilles et Krishna lui donne la foi. Il devient maître des dance floors et sillonne les clubs anglais en tant que DJ. The Daily Express, quotidien conservateur anglais, l'engage comme chroniqueur hebdomadaire. Dégagé de ses vieux démons, Boy George se refait une santé et une crédibilité. À l'initiative de la chaîne américaine VH1, Culture Club se reforme pour une tournée américaine. Et de fil en aiguille pour un best-of et bientôt un nouvel album. Et même si les motivations du groupe sont partiellement d'ordre financier, que Culture Club surfe sur la vague du revival des années 80, qu'ils sont plutôt rangés aujourd'hui, il reste ce grain de folie, quelques petits chapeaux bariolés et pas mal de bons souvenirs.
Alors, j'ai vu que Roy a dit que sa meilleure phrase pour draguer les filles, c'était « Bon, les filles, vous couchez avec moi ce soir et vous allez voir Boy George demain matin. » Alors, comment ça s'est passé? I saw that Roy said that his best line to get girls into his bed during the first time round was he'd say, "Okay, sleep with me tonight and you'll see Boy George in the morning." So did they ever get to see you in the morning, or was it just...
Well, Roy's lying because Roy was married when we were first in Culture Club, and his wife was with us all the time. And she kept a very busy eye on Roy, so right. I think that's more of a fantasy than a reality.
Alors, j'ai vu aussi qu'à un moment donné, pendant le US Tour, vous avez un truc comme ça, à pare-balles, parce qu'il y avait des right-wing qui étaient très, très sévères. Comment ça s'est passé cette année? Apparently, when you were in the US 10 years ago, you actually were on stage in some states with a bulletproof vest because there were some right-wing maniacs, as there are in America, that were threatening you. How was it this time round?
We didn't have anything like that this time round. I think Marilyn Manson has kind of taken over in that department, and people are more concerned about him than they are about Culture Club. Which is odd because, you know, the first time we went to America, I wasn't out as a gay person, and I was probably a lot more safe than I am now. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, I'm older, wiser, and probably in some ways more dangerous than I was in those days because I can actually talk about what I feel now rather than just sort of make quips. So I think, you know, it's just strange, but I think people have just got used to me now. You know, they've just got used to me.
Alors, moi, j'ai adoré toute cette époque où les hommes se maquillaient. Il y avait Gary Newman, il y avait Dead or Alive, il y avait Human League. Est-ce que Human League, il se maquille toujours aujourd'hui? There were so many groups that used to put makeup on, so many men that I used to love it. I used to make my boyfriend put makeup on. There was Human League, Gary Newman. Marilyn, Dead or Alive. Was Human League made up this time?
Well, Human League were more... I don't think Human League were really a drag band.
No, but...
I mean, no, they look quite normal now.
Okay.
I mean, he used to have this hair, you know.
Yeah.
He hasn't got any hair now.
Is he putting wigs on?
No, he's just got very short hair, and he doesn't have that hair now. He's got a crop, like a really small crop. But they're a very good band, though. Very good band.
Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Precious kisses, ones that burn me. Lovers never ask you why. In my heart the fire's burning. Choose my color, find the star. you do not know. This violence without a reason, I'm prepared to let you go. If it's love you want from me, then take it away. Everything's not what you see, it's over again. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me
Après Culture Club, vous êtes devenu DJ, vous êtes devenu auteur, vous avez une rubrique dans un magazine, le Daily Express. After the end of Culture Club, you wrote a book. You did a column in, or you still do perhaps,
do it,
in
yeah,
the.
yeah.
What's that about? The column in the Daily Express.
Just whatever I feel like writing about, you know, bitching about various things or meeting interesting people, traveling, you know, can be anything. There's no rules about what I can write, and it changes every week.
OK. Et bien sûr, vous êtes un grand DJ à travers toute l'Europe. Alors, quel est le pays qui fait la fête le plus? You're a DJ that works all over Europe.
Yeah.
Which is the country that knows really how to have a party?
London, the UK, basically. I mean, I DJ mostly in the north of England,
OK.
but the dance scene in the UK is really, really established now, and it's been going for a long time. But there are good clubs everywhere in the world. There's good clubs in Paris. Queen is a good club.
Yeah, yeah.
I've DJ'd there a couple of times, and New York's good as well. But the music in New York is very, very stylized, and I like to be a bit more free with what I play.
Right, right. Alors, ce que j'adore, c'est ça, c'est le maxi CD. I love the mix that you've done for Do You Really Want to Hurt Me, the quiver mix. It's fantastic. It's something you could just put the same one over for a whole night of techno. So
It's one of those things that's very dangerous when you give somebody a very old song, especially a reggae song, and it can either be fabulous or a complete disaster, and luckily he did a great job.
really
But it's
good.
always very risky when you give people old songs to remix.
Right, right. So now you've brought out a best album, and so it's just one new track, which is I Just Want to Be... Three.
Three new tracks.
Glad you said.
Trois.
Glad you said. Trois nouvelles chansons, inédites, avec le premier single qui est I Just Want to Be Loved. Alors, vous avez écrit ça quand? When did you first write I Just Want to Be Loved?
I Just Want to Be Loved was actually written in 1990, the last time Culture Club attempted to reform.
Absolutely.
And we had a row about something really stupid, and I walked out.
Right.
And we didn't speak for another 5 years. But at this stage, enough water has gone under the bridge for us to be able to be back in the band together. But the only good thing that came out of that sort of reformation was I Just Want to Be Loved, so that was a good thing.
I will find another love, someone who won't bring me down. How you tried to level me, but you never stood your ground. Fortunately, I got a wife this time. Fortunately, I got me on my mind. Oh, I just wanna be loved. Don't wanna fight you, baby, but I'm much too proud to say it now. I just wanna be loved. Don't wanna beg you, baby, but I'm much too proud to shout it out. Take a piece of dignity and use it in your life. Even though you hurt me, I still want you to survive. Love was never special, we were never down. You will always have someone to bring you home the crown. Fortunately, I got a wife this time. Fortunately, I got me on my mind. Oh, I just wanna be loved. Don't wanna fight you, baby, but I'm much too proud to say it now. I just wanna be loved. true. Fortunately, I got a wife this time. Fortunately, I got me on my mind. Oh, I just wanna be loved. Oh, I need to be loved.
Alors, il n'y a plus Helen Terry. Qu'est-ce qu'elle fait aujourd'hui? Helen Terry is no longer doing backing, or what's she up to today?
Well, Helen Terry is no longer working in music. She's actually a TV producer.
Okay.
So she's doing like movies and documentaries and things like that, which is a real shame because she has a really incredible voice.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think Helen found the whole music business quite difficult, so she decided to back off and do something else.
Alors, elle a dit qu'à l'époque, c'était plus choquant de ne pas faire de la drogue. Alors, comment c'est 10 ans plus tard? She said that, in fact, at the time, it was more shocking to not do drugs and be in a rock and roll band, or be in a band. So,
That's what she says.
right. Okay. Well, what's it like?
Really? It's not how I remember it.
What's it like today?
What's it like today? Well, in Culture Club, it's backgammon, you know. I mean, we were never very rock and roll. The thing about Culture Club, which I think is amusing, is that when we should have been doing drugs and, you know, bathing in champagne, we weren't. It was after the band that we all sort of went crazy. We sort of did it in the reverse order.
Right.
You know, it was after Culture Club that I started doing drugs, not when we were at our peak, which is normally what would happen.
You were very strict about it too. When you were
Yeah,
in
we're the
club.
worst kind, though, you see.
Right.
I think
Do
the more,
everything too extreme. Is
yeah, I think when you know, people who kind of generally sort of preach against things are normally people with the problems.
that... Okay.
So, yeah. Gotta watch out.
Alors, il y a quelque chose en France en ce moment dont on parle beaucoup, c'est le PAX. Et le PAX, c'est un système où on veut donner plus de droits aux couples homosexuels, où ils pourraient carrément se marier et voir la sécurité que en tous les couples hétérosexuels, comme c'est en Angleterre. Something that's happening in France at the moment is a thing called PAX. And PAX is to give security and more rights to homosexual couples, even to the extent where they could get married. What's it like in England?
Well, I think people want that in England. I mean, I think that everybody should have equality, regardless of sexuality, colour, age or race, but I worry about being assimilated to the point where you have no identity. I mean, I have no desire to be like anybody else. I have no desire to be like straight people because I'm not like them and I never will be. But then at the same time, there are lots of things that we have in common, but I like the idea of keeping my identity, and there are a lot of gay people who have this kind of manic desire to be assimilated into the mainstream. And I think that's kind of depressing.
Right.
Vive la différence.
Oui, tout à fait, tout à fait.
Turn back across the street, you never know who you might be, who's in disguise. Ooh, as you blow a storm, there's no one there to keep you warm. It's no surprise, there's something in my eyes. It's a miracle, it's a miracle, it's a miracle, it's a miracle. It's a miracle, and dreams are made
Alors, j'ai vu que vous avez un tatouage ici. Est-ce que vous pouvez expliquer ce que c'est? You have a tattoo, so can you explain it? There's a G, obviously. There's a G, obviously, for George.
It's a G for girl.
Oh, excuse me.
No, it's not.
Silly.
It can mean a lot of things. No, I actually was in New York and I had a bet with a friend of mine that he said he wanted a tattoo done, so I bought it for his birthday. And the deal was that if he had the tattoo, I had to have one.
Okay.
And as I don't kind of walk around in vest, I thought the best place to have it was on my neck.
Right, so yeah, there it is. Alors maintenant, c'est la tournée européenne avec ABC and the Human League. Après la tournée, qu'est-ce que vous allez faire? Now it's the tour with Human League and ABC across Europe. What's your plans for after the tour?
After the tour, we go to America for a couple of weeks, and then we are going to start working on a new album.
Oh, great.
And that's when the fun will start.
Quand est-ce qu'on peut vous voir live in Paris?
Probably sometime either in spring or summer. We're hoping to do some of the summer festivals in Europe, so that will probably be the time we'll come to Paris. But it's just down the road, so maybe we'll come sooner.
Right, yeah, with the Eurostar.
Exactly.
Alors, maintenant, ça c'est l'album avec tous les grands hits et les 3 inédits. Ça c'est le maxi CD avec 2 versions de I Just Want to Be Loved, vraiment excellent. Et la version super de Do You Really Want to Hurt Me. Thank you very much, George, for coming on the show. Alors, il y a bien sûr le 3615 MCM rubrique courrier pour les messages. Il y a le 3615 MCM rubrique Le Mag pour tout ce que vous avez envie de me dire. Alors, à la semaine prochaine. Bye.
Well, I think a lot of people have
Moi, je suis au
a lot of
problème, mais j'aime bien quand même ça commence à bien avec le French.
I got so desperate, I just...
way back in 93.
L'artiste aussi fonction de ce que je dis tout le temps, soit tu habites une feu, une feu.
Je les aime, c'est dingue.